A normal afternoon at a busy burger restaurant turned into a scene that no one expected. Families were enjoying meals, employees were serving customers. Then everything changed in seconds. Panic spread as people rushed for safety after gunfire erupted at the newly opened In-N-Out Burger in Twin Falls, Idaho. By the time the terrifying moments were over, at least 2 people had lost their lives. Several others were injured, and the suspected gunman was also dead, according to authorities. Investigators are still working to determine exactly what led to the violence, and officials continue gathering evidence. Crisis counselors have now been made available for victims, witnesses, and families affected by the tragedy as the community struggles to process what happened. In In-N-Out, President Lindsay Snyder shared an emotional message saying her heart was broken over the devastating incident. A place where people came together for food and conversation suddenly became the center of a heartbreaking investigation. Police are asking anyone with information or videos from the scene.
A new update for you on yesterday's deadly shooting in Twin Falls, Idaho. 3 people were killed after a gunman opened fire at a crowded In-N-Out Burger. Police just released the identity of that shooter, who was found dead near the scene. Max Gordon has the very latest. Max.
Hey, John, we're now learning more details about that mass shooting at the In-N-Out in Twin Falls, Idaho. A press conference just wrapped up there, and we've learned that at least 3 died and 7 people were injured in the incident. Here's what police said about the shooter.
At this time, we can confirm that the suspect, 24-year-old Chad Williams, is deceased from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Investigators are in review. Yesterday at 2:29 p.m., multiple 911 calls were received by the Twin Falls City Communications Center. Dispatchers could hear screaming and reports of gunshots in the background.
Meanwhile, the president of In-N-Out is reacting to the shooting. In a post on Facebook, Lindsay Snyder writes, "My heart is broken, my chest is heavy, my eyes burn from the tears I've shed." Snyder says an employee and customers were among the 3 who died. Here's what a witness who had to say about what he experienced there.
Once on the roundabout, you heard everybody running, screaming, shooter, active shooter, and we had to stop because I didn't want to run over all the employees. And then we heard some shots, boom, boom, boom.
The shooting happened around 2 p.m. at a busy shopping plaza. In-N-Out's president, Snyder, says the gunman shot both on the restaurant property and off, and video shows a person dressed in black carrying a long rifle. The suspect's motive is still unclear as law enforcement searches for answers. Video taken at the scene shows an armed citizen opening fire on the gunman and trying to stop him. And today, law enforcement commended the actions of the citizen and said he helped drive the gunman away from the scene. Victims in the shooting were taken to a local hospital. 2 of them remain in critical condition. Law enforcement hasn't released the names of any of the victims. Meanwhile, In-N-Out's president says she and the company will be in mourning with the families impacted and will be praying for them. John, back to you.
I don't even like to use the name of shooters like this, but did they say, was he a local? Was he in from out of state or out of the city? Do they know yet?
Not a lot of questions were answered regarding that person who was involved in the shooting. They say that his family has been notified, but the law enforcement didn't take any questions from the press today. They just did a quick update, so likely we'll learn more answers in the days and weeks to come.
Look at this video. It happened around 8:30 this morning. Law enforcement says a man approached the location here, ignited a fire, set off fireworks, and menaced pedestrians with a firearm. Law enforcement took a man into custody. Moments later, they led him into the building. Multiple law enforcement sources tell CBS News this was an anti-ICE attack, that the individual was armed with guns and commercial-grade fireworks. CBS News law enforcement analyst Richard Esposito.
And he had air rifles with him, the kind of things that you might use in paintball type events, a helmet, halogen lights.
I asked him how troubling is it that the man got this close to the building?
It's Manhattan. And that building is a large building. As you know, it looks like a city block. And there is a security perimeter around it, right? There are barricades, bollards to stop vehicle attacks, substantial uniform presence, patrol cars parked outside, both police, federal service. People come in and out of that building all the time. They go to see the FBI, to go to immigration. Customs is in there, I believe, and border. And what's troubling is that someone thought this was a way to protest.
The FBI assistant director in charge of the New York field office said this earlier.
At this time, our Joint Terrorism Task Force is investing this as an anti-government attack on a federal facility.
The FDNY says 4 civilians suffered minor injuries. One was taken to a hospital. The suspect's cart is over there, and it says, "Ice off our streets."
What is that? Bomb! 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 Back up, back up. All right, back up. Back up. Guys, back up. Get in this back.
Earlier today, I provided an update on the investigation into explosive devices that were ignited and deployed on Saturday during protests outside of Gracie Mansion. We can now share that federal charges have been filed in the Southern District of New York against 2 individuals, Amir Balat and Ibrahim Kayumi, in connection with that attack. The defendants are charged with attempting to provide material support to ISIS, using a weapon of mass destruction, transporting explosive materials, interstate transportation and receipt of explosive materials, and unlawful possession of destructive devices.
On Saturday, outside of Gracie Mansion, as the police commissioner said, 2 men threw incendiary devices at a protest. As New Yorkers ran from the danger, NYPD officers ran towards it. Other NYPD officers diffused it. No one is injured today. No dinner table has an empty seat today. And that is thanks to the work of the
Police are investigating at this hour 2 separate stabbings that happened at separate locations, but they have now arrested 1 man who they believe is responsible for both stabbings. The police commissioner telling us in just the last hour that 51-year-old Raul Morales has been arrested, and they believe he is responsible. The police commissioner also telling us that the phrase Allahu Akbar was shouted before each stabbing. Now, the first stabbing happened where we are here on 84th Street and Central Park West. Law enforcement sources are telling us that a 57-year-old man who is Asian was walking down the street and was very suddenly stabbed in the back. Police say it was unprovoked. He was rushed to the hospital. That happened at 1:30 in the afternoon. And then minutes later, police got another call just a couple blocks away on 86th Street and Amsterdam Avenue. That man was 50 years old and Jewish. Both men were rushed to the hospital, and at the moment they are in stable condition. We don't know the extent of their injuries, but police telling us they are in stable condition. We spoke to a woman who saw the first victim after he had been stabbed, and she called the scene surreal.
He was crouching, there was a knife sticking out of him, and he looked very stoic. That's the word. Because he was just trying to not move until help came. Like, it was like a surreal image, because you're in bright, sunny, 1:30 p.m., Upper West Side, Central Park West, and there was just this cry.
Horrific news today in the United States of America. There have been 7 mass shootings in the United States across multiple states just this weekend. You may not hear about all of them because mass shootings have become so normalized in American society, but we don't normalize them here. So let me run through where they occurred. A mass shooting in Chicago led to 13 individuals injured. A mass shooting in Wisconsin, Milwaukee led to 4 people injured. A mass shooting in Kansas City, Missouri led to 5 people being injured, 1 person killed. Another mass shooting in Kansas City led to another 5 people injured and another person killed. A mass shooting in Maryland, Hanover led to 6 people injured. A mass shooting in Montgomery, Alabama led to 2 people killed, 2 people injured. And a mass shooting in Petersburg, Virginia has led to now 5 people being injured. This is all within the span of the last 48 to 60 hours, just this weekend alone. Mass shootings have become far too normalized in the United States of America. In 2026, we've had 197 mass shootings. This is all according to the Gun Violence Archive.
Police say they have a suspect in custody and are looking for at least 1 more alleged shooter after a mass shooting at a crowded food festival in downtown Seattle. Chaos erupting as shots rang out, sending terrified people running and screaming. Food vendors who were live streaming the event ducking for cover.
Shooting!
People even taking cover at the gift shop of Seattle's famed Space Needle. Witnesses say they didn't know what was happening in all the confusion.
We just heard what at first sounded like firecrackers. When the crowd started moving quickly in herds, you knew something was happening.
People started running right away, like running. I mean running. It was stampede.
Officers took one of the suspected shooters into custody without incident.
We believe that there were two people shooting at each other. We have recovered 2 weapons so far.
Authorities say 2 people died at the scene and a third later at the hospital, and at least 4 others were injured in the mass shooting.
Anyone have a small child tourniquet size?
The youngest, a 2-year-old boy, hospitalized in stable.
A 12-year-old boy sitting on his bike going to buy a ball inside of the bodega was Jacob Freitas, shot and killed Saturday evening. He was the son of a retired NYPD sergeant.
Lovable boy, yeah. Once he said I got shot, he just fell on the floor. I live right here. I was looking out the window.
There are 2 growing memorials for Freitas where neighbors are visiting, one in front of the bodega he was shot at, and another in front of the building he lived in.
And I put the roses, the yellow and blue one, because that was the school colors, the yellow shirt with blue pants.
We're told Freitas loved riding his bike and stayed out of trouble. Mary Lynn Buckley, 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM in the Mount Eden section of the Bronx.
It was Saturday just before 5 p.m. in front of the supermarket and deli on Elliott Place and Walton Avenue when a fight ended with gunfire. Investigators say one bullet hit Jacob in the left shoulder. The wounded 12-year-old desperately ran inside the bodega looking for help. He was pronounced dead at the hospital. The bike left on its side at the scene.
He's a regular in that bodega seeking refuge. But no, he didn't make it.
Sunday morning, police arrested 45-year-old William Ferrer at his home. He was silent as detectives walked him out of the 4-4 precinct hours later. Police Commissioner Jessica Tisch addressed the arrest, writing, "No arrest can ever ease the pain of this unimaginable loss, but the NYPD will continue to do everything in our power to seek justice for Jacob."
If we don't get tough with crime, we're not going to solve the problem. 12 years old, I could not, as a parent, live with my...
Breaking news here on the corner of N and 5th Streets in Northwest. You can see a ton of police here behind me. We are told by DC police that one man has died. Another is in the hospital in serious condition after a shooting here not far from where I am standing. I want you to take a look at some video. You can see at least 36 evidence markers down on the ground. Now, if this area looks familiar to you, it's because a 5-year-old was among several people who were shot here earlier this year. So, you know, the people who live in this area really shaken up, but also not surprised when they heard gunfire earlier this afternoon. Again, one man has died, another in serious condition in the hospital. Now, if you have any information about what happened, police are asking you to give DC police.
This guy in the white shirt is the alleged suspect for the Seattle shooting that took place on Sunday at the food festival that left 3 dead and 4 wounded. Now, the search is continuing for the second suspect, and authorities are not giving up on this one. Now, the shooting took place close to the Space Needle. I'm not entirely sure where it is, but it said something like Bite. Not familiar with the area, but this is a picture of it.
What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. If you haven't already added us, we're on YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, William Fratelli Cooking and Guns channel, where we post a lot of fair use on this channel. We've been posting for over a year now, along with our cooking content. We have a cooking channel that we try to keep up. We've been slacking, obviously, with our normal everyday lives that we have to maintain, but we try our best to post at least one video a week as it relates to the Second Amendment community. And then we have our fair use as well as the cooking content. For tonight, we posted a couple of clips you guys were able to see prior to this part of the video. We titled this one America Under Attack and Siege. We've posted videos like these in the past. There's a lot of stuff that's going on in the news right now, a lot of stuff going on in our country. We're seeing a lot of mental instability. Just in the last week, we have had attacks throughout the nation, the United States of America, where we live here. We've had attacks in Idaho, New York City, several attacks in New York City. We've had stabbings, bombings. We've had mass shootings throughout the country. We have had another shooting in Seattle at a festival. We had a stabbing, another shooting in the Bronx, New York City, another shooting in Miami, and this is just in the last week. There's a lot of instability right now in our country. A lot of these episodes that people are going through have a lot to do with the pandemic. Post-pandemic, we've posted videos like this in the past. This is like a repeat video, but it's just a fair use video for tonight, where we posted just a few clips of what's been going on in the news. I don't know if these people are just mentally unstable or a combination of just stress, everyday stress, instability. People are on the edge. We've posted on this channel in the past that after the pandemic, 1 in 3 Americans were diagnosed with some type of mental health disorder. Were diagnosed with it after the pandemic without having this prior to the pandemic. The age group, from what we're seeing with all these incidents on the news that are happening with a lot of these people are, if not active, most of them are former members of the armed forces. We're seeing a lot of this. The age group is between 18 and 29 that are experiencing the highest level of fatigue, psychological distress. 58% of this is 58% of this age group, 18 to 29, are experiencing significant changes in mental health, psychological disruptions, and it's widespread according to these physicians that do these studies online. They're online. You can look them up. We'll put them in the description below. That way you guys could click the link and see that this is stuff that we attach to our videos. Global surge in mental health challenges that is happening. 25% of the 25% of this age group were affected during the first year of COVID. This is not including up to this point where we're at right now, but lockdown, social isolation, fear of illness, grief, economic disruptions, and widespread psychological distress are all these are combined and are creating this. I believe it is. It has to be. These people committing these mass shootings. We had the most recent one was the mass shooting in Idaho at an In-N-Out Burger. In-N-Out Burger fast food restaurant that families and other people were there, you know, just having a meal on a Saturday afternoon, not thinking that something like this would happen. They had their guard down. A lot of people had their guard down. I don't know if these people that were in the establishment were armed. According to the report, there was a off-duty law enforcement officer, I believe it was a state trooper, that was armed in the area, along with another civilian that was armed, and they were able to engage the shooter, the man that was committing this most recent massacre. He shot one of the employees in the back part of the establishment, in the rear of the exterior of the building. That person is deceased. I don't know their identity. I didn't get any of that. We'll try to see if we could add that to the description. And then there were 2 people in a Tesla that were charging a Tesla nearby. He went ahead and aimed and shot at both of those people in the Tesla through the windshield at point blank range. One of the female survived. She's in the hospital now in critical condition, and the male was decapitated due to the gunshot wound through the windshield. He's deceased. So this is just very, very disturbing content that we don't want to have to post this kind of stuff, but we post it just for awareness. That way you guys are aware. We have a couple of channels that collaborate with us that have posted this type of content, that have posted fair use videos regarding this stuff that's just been going on in the last week. This is just the last week, and we're talking about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to 7 different states. People are just crashing out. That's the new term for the young folk that are out here. That basically means people are losing it. People are crashing out. This is 2026. This is the term that the younger people use, crashing out. People are suffering from all kinds of emotional suppression, just feeling down, depressed, other types of emotional loads. These people are must be drained from stress, poor sleep, hunger, decision overload, and other types of suppression, from what we're reading here. There's a lot of uncertainty, obviously, in 2026. There's a lot going on, not just here, but in the world. We have people that are handling stress in different ways, or probably not seeking out the right coping strategies and support that's out there. There's plenty of support. If you know someone that's suffering from a mental health related episode, or possible mental health related episode, somebody that you can guide, go ahead and do that. Try your best to seek professional help if you're going through anything, counseling, and there's other telehealth services that are available online if you're not able to go in person. But there's a lot of mental health strain right now. We're seeing it. This is just in the last week. We've had shooting after shooting, 3 dead, 7 injured in the In-N-Out fast food restaurant shooting alone. That's not counting the incident that we had in New York City about it's about a week now, I believe. We had a man in Manhattan that attacked the federal building with all kinds of explosives. We did a video on that. All kinds of fireworks and lighter fluid, gasoline. We had another 2 stabbings in Central Park, New York. Those stabbings appear to be hate crime related. They were not mass shooting type incident, but still a very serious incident. Stabbings in Central Park, New York, aimed at the Jewish community, apparently, from what a few passerbys mentioned in the footage that we added to this video earlier, before this part of the video. We had the Seattle shooting, once again, the Seattle shooting. Bronx, New York, a stabbing of a 12-year-old boy at a bodega. In the bodega, he went into the bodega seeking help after the stabbing. We had a shootout in Miami. I don't know exactly what part of Miami, but we have it attached to the video. And then once again, Washington, D.C., another mass shooting. There was a reporter that was trying to report on something else, and then all of a sudden heard the gunshots while she was reporting. I don't think we put that clip in this video, but just so you guys are aware of what's going on. 2026 is not over yet. You guys just try to maintain, try to keep your head on a swivel, like our other channels on YouTube that collaborate with us want you guys to be aware of. Keep your head on a swivel. If you can be armed, if you're an armed person, try your best to maintain your arms responsibly if you can. That way you're not victim to any kind of an assault, or at least you stand a chance. We had once again the shooting in Idaho. We had a off-duty state trooper and 1 civilian that engaged the shooter and potentially saved lives due to that shooter not being able to carry out his attack on vulnerable people, vulnerable community that was not armed, not able to resist his attack. So luckily they were able to do that. You guys, if you're armed, go ahead and just responsibly maintain your arms. Try to maintain. Keep your head on a swivel. Once again, we have 3 channels shout out on YouTube. Gun Freak Nation on YouTube. We have Trey 57 Production, and finally the Alert Zone TV. These are 3 channels that collaborate with us on YouTube, show us a lot of love. We wouldn't have a channel if it weren't for them. So once again, you guys just stay tuned, and we're going to continue to inform you if we see any more stuff on the news, any fair use, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Cheers.